Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to avoid complacency to keep the romantic spark alive. So, this particular email is from a viewer. He's been following my work for quite a few years, and he's been with his current girlfriend for 5 years now. And so he met her after finding my work. Things went great. But he said lately she seems to be less interested in sex and also complains that he's not serious enough about his career. And he's also blown her off at times to go do things with his friends like gaming and playing video games. And so she tends to needle him a little bit, saying he's not serious enough about his career and his future. And you got to remember, the biggest problem that I see with guys in long-term relationships, they all do the same thing. They stop dating and courting her properly, and they don't make her feel heard and understood typically. And so this guy's doing those things to a degree because what happens, the longer you're together, the average guy typically gets to the point where he's okay with sex every couple of weeks because when you've been with somebody for several years and you've been living with them, it's very easy to get lulled to sleep like that. And they don't think it's very important. They neglect her. And then they only want to have sex about every 2 weeks when they need a release. And after a while, she starts to realize that he only wants to have sex when he wants a release. And then other than that, for the most part, he just kind of neglects her. Women want to be in a love story. If you love your girlfriend or your wife, you always got to date and court her. You can't be blowing her off to go play video games with your friends and expect her to take you seriously as a man. Because your mission and your purpose is supposed to be first and foremost. And if you're falling down on those things, especially as you get older and you get into the time, I mean, they've been together 5 years. At some point, I would imagine she's probably thinking about kids and a family. And if he's blowing her off to go play video games with his friends and then not dating and courting her like he used to, she's not going to like that. And she's not going to react too well with it. Every once in a while, those things happen. I mean, that's life. But when it becomes continuous, and then you continually ignore her when she complains you don't do anything or you don't spend enough time together. And the average guy, when they hear that, she's nagging, she's being a pain in the ass. I got to have time with my friends. I got to do this, I got to do that. Instead of just saying, hey, you know what? You're right. We haven't spent enough time together lately. I'm going to take you out Friday night. I want you to wear that red dress. Where are we going to go? It's none of your business. I got a great place to take you. Even if you don't know where you're going to take her, just tell her you'll have it all handled. All she's got to do is show up, look hot, and have fun. So if a woman complains you don't spend enough time with her, make dates on the spot. Say, you know what, you're right. We should spend more time together. And I'm sorry if I made you feel like I didn't care. I'll make it up to you. And then make a date. Boom, on the spot. Don't argue with her. Don't say, hey, I just took you away 2 weeks ago for a long weekend. Or I just took you to dinner last week. Don't do that. What she's basically saying is I want to spend some more time with you. So make it happen as quickly as possible. If she feels like you haven't spent enough or you've been neglecting her, just acknowledge it and say, you know what, you're right. Probably haven't been, I got distracted with work or this or that, and I'm sorry if I made you feel like I didn't care, but I'll make it up to you. And then make it up to her and then do it and follow through. That's the important thing. So let's go through his email. He says, hi, Coach. First, thank you for everything you do. You help me gain confidence and understand what I've been doing wrong with women. I used to feel hopeless and constantly chase women out of my life, but your advice helped me turn things around. My first serious relationship lasted 2 years. The sex was great, but everything else was a mess. She was moody, manipulative, and cried whenever things didn't go her way. I spent all my time trying to please her and walking on eggshells. Eventually, I had enough and ended it, even though it was hard to let go. Yeah, breakups are never fun, even when you're the one doing the dumping. When you're the dumper, it still sucks. It sucks even worse if you're the dumpy and you didn't see it coming, but most of us have been there. Because women usually do the dumping about 75% of the time. After that, I decided to reconnect with a woman I'd known years ago who once said she wasn't interested in dating. I figured there was no harm in trying again. We met for coffee, discovered shared interests in books and movies, and started hanging out regularly. Over 6 months, she got more comfortable by spending the night, walking around half naked, asking for massages, but I didn't pick up on her signals. I assume that was before the book. I lacked confidence and thought she just saw me as a friend. That's when I found your book and videos. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, if they don't teach this stuff in school, it's like you don't know what to look for, and most of your friends and parents don't know this stuff. So you got to learn it from somewhere. They opened my eyes. I realized she was interested, but I also saw some red flags I had ignored. She rarely laughed at my jokes, acted moody, and snapped easily. What do I always say? Easygoing, easy to get along with, and she's nice to you. Girl, it's moody. Like one day you go to bed and she's an angel, and the next day you wake up, she's like the fucking devil. You can't deal with that. You gotta have a woman who's nice, easygoing, easy to get along with. She communicates like an adult, loves her dad, respects her dad. Women that don't respect their fathers typically just don't respect men in general. Her beliefs and attitude didn't align with mine. I decided I wanted a higher quality woman who matched what I was looking for in a partner. Not long after, I met a beautiful girl who checked all the boxes. She laughed at my dumb jokes, didn't play games, and made things easy. That's what you're looking for, women who make it easy for you. On our second date, we did the indoor Olympics, and later she told me she slept with me so soon because she felt comfortable and safe around me. She said I was a rock, all thanks to applying what I learned from you. We've been dating for 5 years and plan on starting a family now. Lately, though, things have changed a bit. We still get along, but she's less enthusiastic about sex and not as eager to go out and do things together. So if she's less interested in sex, what does that mean? She's turned off. Her legs are closing. They're no longer open like the 7-Eleven. And so you got to open her back up. When I ask her about it, she says life in North America has worn her down and she's lost some of her spark. That's why it's your job to get her out of the house and go have some fun. Say, you know what? If you watch the news, it can be pretty fucking depressing. So let's go out and have some fun together. Take her to Topgolf or go do something fun. Get out of the house. Be the escape from the difficult life. Especially the shit you see on TV. Because it's almost all propaganda anyways. I've also noticed she gets frustrated when she feels I'm not serious about advancing in my career. Well, if you're thinking about starting a family and you're fucking around and you're not really trying to advance in your career and you're just kind of in a trough, that's not the kind of thing that makes a woman feel safe and comfortable trusting your masculine core, because she could see that you're not really striving to reach your full potential. And you said yourself that you guys are thinking about starting a family now. Well, how do you expect her to feel safe if you're choosing to play video games with your buddies and blowing her off? If you blow her off for that, you'd probably blow her and the kids off. And that's not the kind of thing that makes a woman feel safe and comfortable trusting you to be the head of the household. So you got to clean that shit up. I also recommend that you go back through the book. Good students read it like once every 6 months. And so I'm sure there's things in there that you got away from because it's been 5 years. So at least twice a year you should go back through the book to keep your relationship passionate. Because if she's not that interested in sex and she's not stuck to you like a suckerfish, that means her interest has dropped. Now, this is assuming she's normal and healthy and doesn't have mental health issues or other things going on. But if everything's normally healthy and she's not as interested in sex, that means you haven't been dating and courting and romancing her properly, and you haven't been opening her up. Sometimes when I'm gaming with friends and she asks to spend time together, I brush her off. Don't fucking do that. You can't blow your girl off. Because that just communicates you don't give a shit, and you only want to see her when you want to bust a nut, and that's a quick way to make the legs close. Because then she feels like you don't really love her or care about her. You just want to bust a nut from time to time, and other than that, you're going to go gaming and hanging out with your buddies. Again, if you're thinking about starting a family together, this kind of behavior is not the kind of thing that makes the legs open up and cause a woman to feel safe with you being the head of the household. It's like you're a grown child who blows off the relationship to go escape and play games with his friends. You can't do that, dude. So if she says she wants to see you, you can say, hey, I'll be gaming with my buddies till whatever time, and then I'll come pick you up and then go do something with her and romance her. Because it's like everybody does this. You think, oh, she's always there. We live together. We're talking about starting a family. She ain't going to go anywhere. But she's basically telling you that you're neglecting her and you're neglecting the relationship, and you can't fucking do that. The courtship never ends, and then you're basically treating her like a roommate that you're bored of. If you become roommates, you're going to end up with a dead bedroom. He says, I regret doing that, even though I still make time for dates and movies. I'm worried I'm not giving her enough attention. Well, if she's complaining you're not giving her enough attention, you probably need to give her more, especially if the legs are starting to close. If you're trying to seduce her and you're getting rejected, you got to get back in the book, because something is out of sequence in the seduction process. Hang out, have fun when you're hanging out, and when the signs are there, she's ready to be touched, kissed, and seduced, then you make your move. If you date and court her properly, then her legs are open like the 7-Eleven. You can just walk up to her in the kitchen, put your hands down her pants, and start playing with the baloney curtains, and she'll get moist really fast. You can take her pants off and bone her right in the kitchen. She'll give you zero resistance, and she'll love it. She'll love the spontaneity of it. But if you're blowing her off to go play video games with your buddies and you're not really ambitious, you're not trying to advance in your career, and you go and try that, she's going to probably go, oh, I got a headache, or oh, I'm tired. Oh, North America's wearing me down, and I lost a little bit of my spark. What she's lost a little bit of the spark for is a spark for you, because you're not dating and courting her properly, and you're not making her feel heard and understood. Again, if she's wanting to spend time together and you're blowing up, going, I'm playing video games, damn it, I'm about to get to the next level, don't interrupt me. Don't do that. It's a bad way to go. Is there anything I can do to improve this situation and bring back the passion and connection we had from the start? Well, like I've been saying throughout the email, you got to read the book. You got to get back into it, because there's clearly other things that you've gotten away from doing. Because I see this a lot with guys that got success, they got the girl, they got married, they got a family. 7, 8, 10 years later, they're like, man, this is what happened? Go back through the book. Just go back through the book every 6 months. You should read it and take your time reading it. Don't just throw the audiobook in and work out and mow your lawn and do other things that you're doing. Really take the time to listen and concentrate and be honest with yourself. Are there things you got away from? I mean, the fundamentals are the fundamentals. When a woman feels heard and understood, the legs are always open like 7-Eleven. When she doesn't, the legs are going to close. And if you're blowing her off to hang out with your buddies, you're probably not dating and courting her. You already know you're not, because she's not as interested in sex. And you basically want access to the box, but you're no longer disciplined and keeping the romance going like you were going. Again, there's a chapter right in the book. The courtship never ends. And so the courtship is, I know you say you go out with her on dates, but if you're blowing her off to play video games with your buddies, that you can't do that, dude. You just can't fucking do that. If she says, I want to see you, we're not spending enough time together, just say, you know what? Let's get together. I want to see your face. And then make a date in the spot. Either get together later or the next day. When she tells you she wants to see you, don't brush her off or blow her off and say, I'm about to get to level 500. What are you talking about? I'm busy, damn it. Don't interrupt greatness. Don't do it, dude. Get back to the basics and the fundamentals. As soon as you do that, things will clean back up and the legs will open. And if you got a question or a challenge, maybe you're in a similar situation with your girl, you're not really sure what to do, we can really drill down in detail what she's doing and saying, what you're doing and saying, and I can give you the exact feedback that you need to take corrective action. So if you'd like to book a coaching session with yours truly, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content, in the video description is video. There are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, and you can do a 7-day free trial on our website to check out what content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial for our premium members only content. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.